Babylon is going to be destroyed, and you can't do anything to save America. Now, Kol Halal, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. All praises, glory, and honor due unto Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakaha Kodash. And double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone GMS. Tiv, I say Shalom and Shalom to the hopeful elect. So, this is from Rumble, and it's on the channel called The New American. Title says, The Ben Armstrong Show, Can Anything Be Done to Save America? And the answer is no, pursuing to Jeremiah the 51st chapter and many other scriptures. But the Lord is against America. He's not in the business of saving America. America is going to be destroyed by thermonuclear destruction. And also remember, Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. So yeah, the Lord ain't with America. The Lord ain't with America. And he goes on to say that America could be saved. You know, he's just speaking. If they went back to how they were originally functioned in the very beginning with the so-called founding fathers, going off of that blueprint. But let me tell you something, Mr. Ben Armstrong. Let me tell you something. I do like your show, though. It's okay. I watch it sometimes. You have a lot of good information that comes out. But let me tell you something. If you want America to be saved, you have to put Jake back into slavery. You have to make sure women don't go to work. That's what you're gonna have to do. That'll solve your problems, right? But guess what? The Lord ain't in the business of Jake going back into slavery, because this is our last captivity. But this place is going down. The Lord is against America. The Lord don't love America. Now, one thing I do like what he points out how America and Americans are facing a lot of problems in America. He points out how there is a two-tier justice system. He points out how the elections are all rigged. Politics is corrupt. Your elections are corrupt. And he also points out how the American people are very clueless and oblivious to what's going on in terms of how their system works. He also makes a statement saying, yes, a lot of you Americans are saying, oh yeah, we got the next election, but you guys understand that the election that you just previously had was rigged. All that information came out that Mr. Joe, Sleepy Creepy Joe, shouldn't have even been in office. But then now you're going on to say we got the next one, like that's gonna change anything. When you guys should be angry, because it shows that your whole system is corrupt from top to bottom. Now he points out the two-tier justice system, going into how if you're rich, you can get away with crime. And if you're poor, or just an average American, you're going to get screwed over by the justice system. Now, if you're poor and you commit petty crimes, you're going to receive a harsh penalty or a harsh judgment. And he also shows how the justice system is becoming very draconian, very bad. And he also points out the Biden family, Hunter Biden in particular, how there's so much proof, there's so much evidence that this guy is a criminal. Like it's there. There's so much pictures, so much video footage that he's a pedophile, a molester, a criminal, a drug addict, but yet he hasn't been in jail. Like, what's going on with that? So it shows you that America is corrupt, and it's done. It's done. So that's what I like. The show's it was pretty good. It was okay. If you don't understand things, you're gonna get bored though. You gotta have you have to pay attention. If you have a short attention span, this video ain't for you. But I'll post a link in the description. So anyways, this is Jeremiah chapter 51 verse 1. Babylon judged for sins against Yasha Allah. Thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yashai power, behold, I'll raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind. Wow. Now how do you know that Babylon here is talking to America? Was talking about America? Because this isn't just talking about ancient Babylon. It's actually talking about modern day Babylon, which is America. How do you know that? Well, why? How do you know? Why is Babylon America today? Why? Well, you have to go and look at the definition in the Hebrew. What does Babylon mean? Babylon just simply means Babal, which is confusion. Now that's what America stands for. America is all about confusion. America is all about confusion. You have these top judges, lawyers, politicians passing laws about being non-binary, changing your sex, and that shows that they're confused because they can't tell a man from a woman, and it shows because they make laws about that. And I don't want to talk too much about that because I might get flagged. I can't go into specific terms, so I'm gonna have to chop it up and sound kind of weird. And that's the only reason why I talk like this on YouTube. I have to think about what I'm really saying, because anything I say can get a flag. I can get flagged for. Right? So bear with me. But yeah, it's to the point now where men want to be women and women want to be men. That's confusion. You have this whole alphabet agenda that's running rampant. That's confusion. You have so-called women's liberation. That's confusion. You have these little children, now they have the ability to change their sex without their parents getting involved. That's confusion. Over here in Canada, I believe it's the Peel District School Board, guess what they're doing? Any book that was published prior to 2008 is being removed off of them shelves. Why is that? Because they want to be more inclusive. That's confusion. Right? That's confusion. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil. Isaiah chapter 29 verse 16. This place is turned upside down. It's backwards. Let me pull that up. You can thank Easy E. Easy E. 29 verse 16. Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay, for shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? And that's what Esau's trying to do. He's trying to say that I'm God, and that there is no God. He didn't make me. God doesn't exist. But you're in the potter's hand, and you're just the clay. And really, you're that vessel that's fit for wrath. You're that vessel of dishonor. And that's what the vessel of dishonor would say. He would say things like this. He made me not. Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding? Many scriptures that show that Esau Edom doesn't believe in the Lord. And that he thinks that he's really above the Lord. But the main point is, man, he turned things upside down. He has turned this world upside down. And that's why there's so much confusion out here. So that's how you know that America is Babylon. A lot of confusion. Now it says, and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind. That destroying wind is thermonuclear destruction. Let's go into Revelation chapter 7 verse 1. I'm going to read to the 3rd verse. And after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. So this place, it should have been blown up 1,000,000 times over already. Should have been destroyed. And that 4 winds is going into nuclear destruction. Because in the major 4 parts of the world, 4 quadrants of the world, you have a superpower, and each superpower has nuclear weapons, and they're all going to shoot theirs off. But the angels, they're working on the minds of those different rulers to not shoot off their missiles, and that's for the elect's sake, because the elect hasn't been sealed yet. But that's what they're going to receive, or that's what Babylon, America, is going to receive. They're going to receive a destroying wind, thermonuclear destruction. Let's get the next precept. So this is Revelation chapter 9, verse 14, saying to the sixth angel which had the trumpet, loose the four angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. So these are the same four angels that we just read about in Revelation chapter 7. Loose the four angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. And the four angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year, for to slay the third part of men. So that's going into the beast system, NATO and the EU, Esau, Edom. Now who's in charge of NATO, or who's at the head? America. So obviously America is going to be a part of this. They're going to be destroyed too. So that's why the four angels were loosed. They were going to destroy America, NATO, and the EU, and the beast. And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, and I heard the number of them. And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them, having breastplates of fire and of jacinth and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire and smoke and brimstone. By these three was a third part of men killed, by the fire, and by the smoke, and by the brimstone, which issued out of their mouths. For their power is in their mouth and in their tails. For their tails were like unto serpents, and had heads, with them they do hurt. Yeah, so the army is 200 million missiles. It's a part of the Lord's army. That's a part of the Lord's army. 200 million missiles are going to bombard this place. And those missiles are going to come from the different nations, which Jeremiah 51 goes into that. So anyway, back over here. Jeremiah chapter 51 verse 2, and I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. That's right, these other nations, they're going to come up against America, aka Babylon, and they're going to destroy this place with their missiles. These nations, they're cool with you now because you made treaties, you have international law, right? You have laws. Really, you're powerful. You made coalitions, but they're your allies right now. But really, they hate you. Deep down, they really hate you. And the only reason why they're your allies is because they need to make money off of you, because you're the whore that sitteth upon many waters, right? You're the whore. You're the go-to guy. You're the money man. So yeah, they got to do business with you, but that doesn't mean they like you. And a lot of these nations, they remembered what you did to them in the past. You've raped, robbed, and murdered, and pillaged their resources. You've destroyed the minds of their people. They remember that, so they want your ass. They want to kill you. You pollute the earth too. Verse 3, against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth himself up in his brigandine, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her host. Yeah, and yeah, man, so it doesn't matter. These nuclear missiles, they're going to get passed through your armor, because that's what brigandine is. It's an old English word for armor. So what's the modern day armor that it's talking about? It's your missile defense systems. That's right, it's missile defense systems. They're actually gonna get past these missiles. They're gonna get past that missile defense system that you have. You know why? Because it's called hypersonic missiles. They're designed to get through missile defense systems. You can just go look them up. Hypersonic missiles. I've covered that in my previous lessons. brought that information out. Now, yeah, let me get a scripture. I think it's in Joel. I don't know. I think it's in Joel. Let me see if I can find it. I know it's Joel. I wonder if it's in Joel. Okay, I'll just look for it. Joel 2, I believe. Yeah, here we go. They're not going to break their ranks. That means they're going to go through... they're going to get through and break through those missile defense systems. So here we go. This is Joel chapter 2, verse 4. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run. So that's what you saw in Revelation 9. Alright. So anyways, let me go back here. Verse 5, like the noises of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of the fire that devoureth the stubble, and as a strong people set in a battle array. Before their face the people shall be much pained, all faces shall gather blackness. They shall run like mighty men, they shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march every one on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. Neither shall one thrust another, they shall walk every one in his path. And when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. They shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief. There you go. So the missiles, they're not going to break their ranks. They're going to break through that brigandine. Verse 4. Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 4. Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are thrust through in her streets. For Yashalah hath not been forsaken, nor Judah of his power. Of Yahweh Bashim El Shai of armies, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. Flee out of the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of Yahweh's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. Yeah, you got to flee out of the midst of Babylon. And how do you do that? First, you have to do that spiritually and mentally first. And then the Lord will ultimately deliver you out of Babylon. I believe that goes into Revelation 18 and 4. Come out of her, my people. Because you don't want to be cut off in this, in her iniquity. And simply, iniquity is sin. And iniquity also means you being in the condition without having the law. That shows you that Babylon is a lawless place. And if you were to follow the ways of Babylon, you're going to always be sinning in the sight of the Lord. Even when you think you're not sinning, or when you think you're doing something good, you're really going off. That's what this place is about. Because this place doesn't uphold the law, statutes, and commandments, the laws that are written in the Bible, the righteous laws. Right, so, for this is the time of Yahweh's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. That's right. So, the Lord is clearly against Babylon. And you got to flee out of Babylon. Spiritually and mentally first. So you don't partake of her iniquity. Or you don't be cut off in her iniquity. And that's what the elect is doing. And then that's when Yahweh Shai is going to come back, and he's going to bring forth that physical deliverance. Him getting you out of here before it's destroyed. So it says, for this is the time of Yahweh's vengeance. He will render unto her recompense. That's right. And he's going to pay Babylon back. So you Americans have to pay for what you've done. You've put the Lord's people in slavery. You've polluted the earth. You've destroyed other nations. Sucked the resources out of the earth. You just take and take and take. So you know what? The Lord has to get rid of you because you're a virus. He has to destroy you. He's against you. He's against you. Verse 7, Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Yeah, they have drunken the philosophies, the wicked philosophies. You know, you've drunken of her wine. The nations have drunken of her wine, which means they've accepted the philosophies that America has given them, which is democracy, capitalism, women's rights, sodomy, and now they're mad. They're upset because you know why? Now they're not doing too good because they have forsaken the old path, the old way of doing things, the things that they did or that their forefathers did. And now their economies are not doing too well. Now their lands are polluted. Now the morals of the people are at an all-time low. People are getting fat, they're getting lazy, they're getting drunk, they're getting weaker. Right, so yeah. And pretty much the Lord, that golden cup that's in the Lord's hand, he sees the wickedness. He sees everything that Babylon is doing. And he's angry. That wine in that golden cup is full to the brim. The Lord's angry. He's angry. He's angry. Now, I just want to point out, because it says the nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Yeah, I already said that they have consented and they have taken on the philosophies that America has given them. But I noticed too, in order for you to get, with certain countries, I mean, in order for you to get financial aid from America, you would have to legalize sodomy. You would have to embrace sodomy. You would have to embrace women's rights, and that's just to get financial aid or do business, right? And also, there's that's pretty much all I want to say about that. I just thought I'd add that. But verse 8, it says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so, be she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. They try to take balm for her pain, which just simply means they bring forth these austerity measures, these economic reforms, reducing government spending in certain areas. They try to print more money. They try to avoid government shutdowns, bailing out banks that crashed, like the whole SVB incident, Silicon Valley Bank, that happened earlier this year. So yeah, and printing money out of thin air, like I mentioned. Yeah, that's that balm for her pain. If so, she may be healed, which she's not going to be healed. Scriptures in verse 9, it says that. So yeah, man. And it says, forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven. Yeah, so pretty much these other nations, they're going to pack up shop and they're going to go back to their own countries because the party's over. America is not doing too good anymore. So they're like, you know what? I'm not living good here anymore. I made my money. I'm going to take my money and go back into my other country, or to my homeland, and I'm going to live like a king. Screw Babylon the Great. It's just a cash cow. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. And that's right, it's going to burn for a very long time. It's going to burn for a very long time, and that's how it's going to get judged. Scripture says the earth will reel to and fro like a drunkard. Yeah. So Babylon is going to receive destruction, thermonuclear destruction. And then when it says and is lifted up even to the skies, it's going to be broadcasted on them satellites. Everybody's going to see Babylon being destroyed on live television. See that smoke ascending up into the heavens, sizzling. This place is done. So yeah, that's all I want from there. Let me get Revelation chapter 18 verse 1. Babylon is fallen, aka America is fallen, And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. That's right, and that's what this place is going to be full of. Unclean beasts. It's not going to be full of trees, full of rivers, great nice mountains, cattle. It's not going to be full of those nice things that make the land look good. Vegetation ain't going to have no vegetation after this destruction. You're going to have unclean birds like vultures and snakes and vultures, hawks and stuff like that. It's going to be a wasteland after it's destroyed. Verse 3, for all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. That's right, because these other nations, they have committed fornication with the whore through business, through trade and commerce. Yeah, and it says they have fornicated with her because they have forsaken the ways of their forefathers. Right? They don't want to do the right thing, so they go into sodomy. They embrace sodomy. They embrace women's lives, like the things I mentioned earlier. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich to the abundance of her delicacies. That's right. All these big businessmen, they come over here to do business. Like Alibaba, the guys who own Alibaba, all these other big businesses. Verse 4, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. What's the plagues? Well, the major plague is thermonuclear destruction, martial law, pretty much everything that involves Jacob's time of trouble, all those bad things that come with it. But this is not talking about you leaving the land itself. It's talking about the Lord coming back and beaming you up through ships, delivering you out of here. But it's not about you leaving by yourself. It's about the Lord coming back and delivering you. That ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. So the Lord, he remembered the iniquities of Babylon the Great, the whore that sitteth upon many waters. He sees it, he remembers it. Remember, the scripture says a day to the Lord is 1,000 years. So he sees what America has done. He remembers it. You tribes, you may not remember it, because you're not on God's time. You're on mortal time. You may forget, but the Lord didn't. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled to her double. That's right. So you're going to get double. You're going to get a double portion for all the wicked things that you have done. And that shows that you reap what you sow. You reap what you sow, man. So can anything be done to save America? Hell no. Because America has done nothing but bad. So that's what they're going to receive. Destruction. Verse 7, how much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen. That's right, a queen. And a queen means bitch. That's what a queen would say. Really, it's the word queen. A woman, a low-born woman. Female serf, a hussy, a prostitute. That's right. That's why Babylon, America, is known as the whore. Prostitute. She is a queen, a bitch. A female serf, vain or worthless woman. That's right, a worthless woman. Good for fucking nothing, man. Don't cook, don't clean. Just a bitch that always opens her legs for everybody. Just a bitch. Bitch. Just a bitch. That's right. So here we go. Yeah, she glorified herself and lived deliciously. Oh yeah, they consume 70 to 80% of the world's resources. That shows that they live deliciously. 24-hour restaurants, 24-hour entertainment, non-stop around the clock. So much torment and sorrow give her, for she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. That's right, you're gonna keep going on and ruling forever and ever and ever. You think you're not gonna pay for all the wickedness that you've done. Verse 8, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is Yahweh Bashem Yoshai power, who judgeth her. That's right, so she's gonna be utterly burnt with fire. You're gonna receive death, mourning, and famine. Wow. All those things. For strong is the Lord power who judges her. That's right. So the one who's judging her is Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So obviously the Lord is against Babylon. And guess what? You cannot save Babylon. Let me get another scripture. Fearful thing to fall. Hebrews chapter 10 verse 31. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. And that's right. So America is in the hands of Yahweh Bashem Yoshai, them big melanated hands. Just picture what the Lord's gonna do. You know how you take like a piece of paper that you don't want to use anymore, you crumple it up, you just squish it, and you have a disdain for it. You just squish it with your hands, and then you crumple it up with your nice hands and you crush it firmly, and you just throw it in the garbage. Salakia. You just throw it in the garbage. That's what the Lord is going to do with them big melanated hands. He's going to crush America. So yeah, it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of a living power, because once you're in his hands, you're done. Nobody can save you. You're going to get judged. So nobody can save America. So with that, I just want to give all praises, glory, and honor due unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushai Bahashem, Rakaha Kodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone GMS, to USA Shalom, and Shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.